Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Launchpad. My name's Grant, and today I am joined by 15 grams, also known as Brendan Mosca. Brendan, how you doing?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
It's good, man. It's good. Having a good day out here. I know you're out in Australia. You're telling me you got a party later today.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm DJing a boat party in about, what is it, 3 hours now. It's a beautiful day in sunny Sydney. We're just coming into summer now, so we're getting some really, really nice weather. Autumn into summer is really nice here. So, yeah, it's going to be on the water today. I'm excited.
Dude, that's always so weird to me because we have the opposite. We're out in Arizona, so we've had summer for the past, or we have summer for like 9 months a year. But we're
Right.
going into winter, and then you guys are going into summer. So that's always so odd to me. But I gotta ask, man. So you're from Australia. You're very well traveled. Obviously, you've done like reality TV. You're a DJ. You've traveled all over the world, seen lots of different things. What makes Australia so special?
It's a good question. And, I've been living in Las Vegas for the past 3 months. I only got back about a month and a half ago. So I've got probably a good comparison, I guess, with us and, so many different parts of the world, especially America. I would say if I was to say directly between, what I missed when I was living in America to say here is free healthcare. That's one thing that's very good here. Um, that's one of the biggest things. But I find our people are sort of a lot more chill. Everyone's sort of like a bit more jovial, and I don't know what I found from my experiences. I guess being in the US, people are a little bit more serious and like head down. Australians are a lot more like, yeah, cool, and they'll stop and talk, and there's no yeah, which is cool. And other than that, it really depends where you go. It's hard to say, it's city by city, really.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. Well, that's cool, dude. I mean, you've traveled so many different places. I know you were recently earlier this year, maybe late last year, you were in Spain filming a reality TV show. Are You the One? And a bunch of people probably might recognize you from that. I know I was super excited when that show came back on. I watched it when it first premiered. So
Yeah.
when I saw I had the chance to interview you, I was pretty hyped about that. Of course, I'll ask about all that in a bit. But going to Spain and having that experience, what was that like?
Man, it was unreal. The whole thing came together, really quickly. I got contacted by, the Are You the One team. They really were interested in a couple of people from Australia, and they liked me. And yeah, I was actually in America at the time while I was doing auditions and things. And then yeah, I think it was within like a month or two, auditions and stuff by Zoom finished, and then I was on a plane going to this tiny little island called Gran Canaria in Spain, and this was still in like COVID times too. So it was like, we got to the island, we got rushed. Like I had to put like a blindfold on, and I had to go in like the back way to the apartment and make sure you don't see anyone because you didn't want to see any other of the contestants and whatnot. And we got put into a room, and they took our phones off us, and then it was just like 5 days before we got into the house. And yeah, it was really interesting, man. Like we were just like, all right, we've got no phones, and I was just stuck in a hotel room. We couldn't leave. We quarantined for like 5 6 days, and then yeah, anytime we had to go anywhere, do any sort of press stuff, had to put like these glasses on that were like blacked out, so we couldn't see anything. So we just sitting there, and yeah, it was really interesting. It was something I've never experienced before. But getting our phones taken off us, I think, was one of the most really interesting parts of just that whole experience. Is not having any contact with the outside world, or you being able to contact anyone is really interesting. And it sort of sets a real interesting dynamic in the way you socialize and just go about things. When you haven't got that sort of connection with any social media or anything like that, or anyone, you can't even chat to your loved ones. It's really interesting what comes out of you and how you see the world. Like you can, like, even when we went to the couples retreat afterwards, you're waiting for an elevator and you're looking around, you talk to people, and you don't look at your phone, and even those little things like, you know, when you're in a group setting, you're at a bar and you sort of run out of things to talk about. People usually just pick up their phone and they'll get on their phone, and you know, when you don't have that to go to, you have humans have this extra social ability that you didn't even realize. You know, you do have things to talk about, but we just have this easy crutch that we go on. So yeah, out of everything, that was one of the best things about it. Like, not having your phone for like 6 weeks was amazing. Like, I don't know when in my adult life I'm going to be able to do that again.
Yeah, no doubt. Because I feel like that's such a common thing that everybody really needs their phone for so many different things. Like everyone uses it for work, to stay connected to friends. Like there's so many good uses for phones, but it also has a lot of negative things that come from it as well. So, you know, being forced to, you know, give up that part of yourself and being forced to, you know, socialize and interact with people, I'm sure brought out a whole other side of you and everybody else on the cast.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm guessing, you know, obviously that's the main reason why it's done, because yeah, you get to see real true colors, and it breaks down a lot of barriers, you know. And it's boring seeing people on TV on their phones, obviously. So,
Yeah, no, definitely. What was the most surprising part of? Because I'm sure you were at least somewhat prepared going into it, but what kind of caught you by surprise the most during the filming of that?
you know, look, to be fair, I wasn't really prepared. You know, I had been going nonstop. I had been touring beforehand, you know, DJing and whatnot. So I only really got to watch a full season of either one in the hotel doing quarantine before. So that's like when I was like, oh, okay,
What
that's
else are you gonna do?
yeah, so I don't know what surprised me the most. I just think the whole, yeah, like, I think probably what surprised me is like the whole resetting of cameras and how long it takes sometimes, like a bit of like the downtime as well. There was definitely a lot of people, you know, come up to me and ask, oh, were things scripted or things. It's one thing that did surprise me as well. It was all like what you saw is what you got. Like nothing was like you should do the, or you know, whatever. You know, it's you know, it was reality TV. You know,
Yeah,
they just sit there and yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, look, all in all, like I just went on there. I was myself. Like you talk to me now. If you watch the show, you'll see I'm exactly, you know, how I am.
yeah,
And I can't say that for all the cast members. That's one thing I found with some people. They, you know, put on an act and things like that. I'm like, you know, whatever you do, any interview you do, post this or whatnot, you have to be that person. So you have to remember what you. So I was like, I just find that so tiring. So yeah, I'm just myself, you know. And I found that's the easiest way to be.
that's good, man. That's the way it should be. I know a couple more questions from that. Like I know you found your perfect match. You're one of the few that actually found your perfect match before the finale episode.
Yeah.
What was that? Because then you guys after that then go to what do you call it? Like the couples retreat getaway thing. How was that like compared to, you know, being like in the big house with everybody else?
Well, it was difficult, to be honest. I was having a lot of fun. You know, I made some really good friends on there. Like Will, who was on the show, is still one of my close friends. You know, we were just having a great time. You know, we were laughing nonstop. So I was having a good time. So, you know, when I found my match, I was like, all right, whatever, that's sweet. Let's actually, you know, give this a go. We're going to be by ourselves. But then I don't know if you remember on the show, she was like, she jumped on with another guy just before we were about to go. So that pretty much made my, you know, having to go to a whole, like we had to go to a place with no cameras, just us. It was in like like a retirement type, like there's no other young people. So it was just us together with no phones. So it actually gave me a lot of anxiety, and I actually struggled like the first couple days. I really did until, you know, we talked it out, and, you know, thank God there's a therapist that comes in, because like, it's difficult when you've got no one else to talk to and it was just you've got no phone. And you know, you've gone through this whole thing with all these other people, and then you're just stuck with this person that really pissed you off. You know, so yeah, it was tough. It was actually real tough for definitely the first couple of days, especially. And then it got a bit better, and we became friends and whatnot, and we're just like, fuck it, you know. And then more people started to come and join us, so that was fun. So just had sangria every night and got drunk and red wine. And, yeah,
Nice. I'm sure you're probably relieved when you saw the couples coming out in there.
yeah. It was a part. Yeah, I definitely. I got sanctioned a couple of times for drinking too much and whatnot. I was always a little break in that regard. So like, all right, we got no sangria after 8. Things like that.
That's hilarious, man. But it sounds like an awesome experience. I'm glad you got to live that. I know that only a few people in the world have gotten to, experience being on reality TV or being on that show specifically. And it's cool you found like you were the first one to find your perfect match, and you kind of found it right away. I know you had like some
Good
bumps in the
instincts.
road. I know you guys were on it. You knew exactly right away.
Yeah.
So congrats on that, man. It sounds like you had an awesome time there. I want to ask before we get into all the DJing and producing and all that kind of stuff. See, like you're very well traveled. You've had all of these like crazy cool experiences. What has been one of your most memorable experiences you've had, either like with DJing and producing or just like in your life so far?
Look, it would have to pertain to, I would say, when I was a resident in a club in Mykonos, and I got well, before I was a resident there, I was traveling with friends, and I got left in Mykonos by myself for like the last like 2 weeks at a club called Paradise Club, which was voted like 12th best club in the world, a couple years running, DJ Mag. And one time I got an opportunity to play before Hardwell, and I ended up playing, and then I played with like Axwell and Laid Back Luke later that week. And then later on that winter, the owner called me and he said, I can't stop thinking about how, you playing and whatnot. And then I played the next summer, every day for like 4 months. And I played with Avicii like 3 or 4 times. And that was one of the highlights, I think, of my career, seeing that type of greatness, up front and being able to sort of share the stage with him. And yeah, that was amazing. I think that's definitely something that lit a fire in me, and has been something that I always look back on and seeing as something that I'm so glad to have done, and was definitely probably one of the biggest highlights of my traveling and just DJing career so far. There was some incredible things playing, and just playing in front of like 5,000 people every night on the beach. It's unbelievable.
That's awesome, dude. That sounds just unforgettable. It's a player with Avicii, getting to meet Avicii. I'm sure a ton of people in the EDM world would just dream of having that opportunity.
Yeah, it was a dream. It did feel like it at the time.
That's cool, man. It's cool that that's still stuck with you, and it sounds like it's motivating you to this day. I want to ask you, like, where you get your inspiration from when it comes to like producing tracks and just living your everyday life? Where does the motivation and inspiration come from?
I would say, well, look, living my everyday life, my inspiration comes from like my late grandparents. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents growing up and things like that. So the person I am, the man I am, whether it comes, from the sensitive side of me or just like the funny side of me, definitely comes from them. So like they're definitely who I look up to and live my life by. And in a music sense, I get inspiration from so many different places. It's so difficult to like pinpoint. I say growing up, my dad would play, random indie stuff, blaring through the living room, and he would always show me, random little bands and different things that I never would have, found myself. So I think that started a fire in me in finding music that isn't mainstream and finding stuff that, people, different. And I do that a lot when I'm DJing. You'll never hear me play sort of the same set twice, and I'm always, finding cool stuff, remixing, and finding different ways to make it my own and things like that. So yeah, I find inspiration from everywhere. But yeah, early on too, I found a lot of inspiration from sort of Brazilian DJs. I love Brazilian bass. I've always sort of been into Latin house and things like that. So my tech house, Latin house, like Brazilian bass roots. Create a nice sort of different platform in the way I played it.
Nice. Yeah, I was listening to your stuff earlier today and just kind of diving into your library of music, and very, very diverse kind of music. House is the base of a lot of it. Yeah, very diverse type of music. Can you talk a little bit about, where you see your sound moving forward? Are you kind of trying to keep on like a diverse track, or do you have a more like focused vision, or are there artists?
Yeah, well, I'm really enjoying making, this vocal house and writing and really focusing on the writing of my music. And some of these tunes I really want to stand the test of time. I think that's really important to me. And I'd say like my latest song, Love Myself, it's beautiful. I love it, every bit of it, so things like that. I do enjoy making sometimes more than clubby stuff as well. But then, I'm also going to bring out, a clubby EP early next year as well, because, that side of my, DJing and whatnot is important to me as well. So, yeah, look, I'm balancing in between the songwriting and making some really nice vocal stuff. And but then I'm also got some really cool stuff going on in regards to just, hitting festivals and whatnot. On that side. So yeah, I like balancing in between the two.
Nice. I like that. When people listen to your music, what kind of message do you hope that they get from it? Or what do you hope resonates with people when they put on your artist profile?
Yeah, look, I want them to come back just feeling like, they have experienced something different. I really, I want them filled with inspiration and just, all in all, when it comes to DJing, I want them to feel like, they've just been somewhere, I've taken them away for a little bit. So whatever's going on, they can, just not feel that anymore. And just hear something that they haven't heard before. I love being unique, and I think everyone else does as well. And when they're listening to my music, I hope they can grab something. A lot is written about what I'm going through and stuff like that. And I hope that helps other people as well. I love getting messages and hearing, people say, me listening to this song has helped me through, dark times, through good times, or, whatever. That's what it's all about. So,
Right. Is there obviously you've been doing this for a while, so you honestly have a lot of fans. I'm sure you got a lot more fans after Are You the One dropped and everything too.
Yeah.
Do you have a most memorable fan interaction that you've had over the years?
Well, there's some fun ones. I think, there's been, especially while I was in America after Are You the One, there's been some real fun ones. There was a good one. I think I went to EDC recently, and it was like 7 a.m. I'd had a big day. I was pretty, ready to go. And I remember one of the people that worked there. They like ran off. There was like a massive stage. They ran off the stage. Like, are you Brendan from Are You the One? I was like, yeah. It was nice seeing someone sort of like that, and those two worlds cross over. Being at EDC and having people sort of have that. And that's always what I wanted from that experience, to have a nice crossover experience, to draw more attention to my music from the show and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would say something like that was one of my favorites.
Nice. Tell me about your EDC experience, dude. That looked, I saw the post. It looked like such a good time from your end. I saw you were hanging out with some awesome artists. I saw, Jessica Otterfred, Tita Lau, Riot 10, James Hype on there. All like massive names, some names we've talked to before. Tell me about that experience. How was EDC?
Oh man, EDC is for me the best festival in the world. Just the vibe. I think the way it's run from the top down, they just know how to make love just go throughout the whole. Everyone is just on this same beautiful level, and it's just amazing. I don't know, it's just so nice. It's. I've been twice now, and I get goosebumps just thinking about it. How good it is. It's just incredible. I had the best time, and look, some great DJ friends there. It was good to see James. I played a lot with James Hype in Marquee in Sydney, and we became buddies over the years, and Tita as well, and Jessica. She's managed by one of my best mates, we just all had such a good time. It was incredible. Each time I go, I'm like, I don't think it could get better, and it's always just as good, if not better, every time. I just love the people, everyone running it, everyone going there. It's just wow, I can't wait to play main stage. That's the goal.
That's the goal. Yeah, that's going to be my next question for you. What's the next goal? What's the next stage? What's the next festival?
I would say for me, EDC main stage. I want to get there. That's really what's been stuck in my head like the last while. That's definitely my what I'm aiming towards. I would say.
We're manifesting it. We're speaking it into existence.
Oh yeah.
15 grams on the main stage in the next 2 years. I can see it.
That's it, man. Let's go.
Cool, man. So I know you've met a ton of people, a ton of artists, ton of DJs, producers. There's people within the industry. You've also obviously been on reality TV. If you had to give me a couple DJs or producers that would be fantastic for a reality TV show, who would it be? Why?
Sorry, that's interesting. That is a tough one, actually. There would be some really good ones. I would say it's. I would say one thing that's hard about us DJs, most of us would just end up partying too much. No, it's like me. But I don't know. That's a really tough one. I don't know who would I would say that would. One of the guys that's in the same management team as me, Timmy Trumpet. I think it would be a lot of fun on a reality show. I think he'd kill it. But yeah, I think all in all, regardless, I think most of us would just party too hard.
Yeah. Everyone would have to be cut off after a certain.
Yeah, well, that's it. We're just a crazy breed, I got cut off a couple of times during.
Yeah. Didn't have to start pulling your USBs away from each other.
Yeah, and that's it. All that's it. Yeah, that's probably a thing that an idea someone should look at. A reality show with DJs.
You know what? I was half joking with this question, but I think that is something that should happen. I would pay to see that, a reality.
You imagine like an all-star, cast of just I think that there's definitely some legs there for something that could be great. Even like a reality, DJ show, and I don't know. There's so many different things you could do. Oh yeah.
That's what they need to start doing for these local people. Make it into a reality show, and then whoever wins out of that gets to play main stage at a big festival that they have or something like that.
Oh yeah. They actually do a sort of thing like that here. It's called Your Shot. It's a DJ competition that I worked with quite a bunch, and I worked as one of the trainers for a bunch of years on that as well. And what they do, they have a massive competition, and if you get selected to get in, you get 6 weeks free DJ training, and we train them up. And then if they do win the competition, they get to play, at a festival or something somewhere around the world, which is sick. Yeah, so there is some legs to that. I just need to get on TV.
That's awesome, right? I gotta ask too. So you worked with a ton of people, done some collabs, just met a ton of people over the years. Who are some names that are not getting the recognition that they deserve? If you had to shout out a name or two that we should go check out or that we should be promoting, who would that be?
One of my boys, Mason Ware. He's one of my guys here in Sydney. He's an incredible producer who is definitely going to blow up at some point very soon. But he's definitely not as much as he should, but definitely check him out. I would say he's number one at the moment. But it's so hard to say. There's so many. I've got so many good friends and whatnot that I'm like, need to be so much bigger than they are. But I think a lot of the guys that I'm here with Sydney, that I'm close with, definitely are on the up and up for sure. We're in a good place, I think.
Nice. What's your one piece of advice to people trying to break into the scene or trying to play main stages or just trying to get their foot in the door? What's your main piece of advice to them?
I would say one thing, just get in there. There's so much things online and whatnot that you can get today that can help you. DJing is not too hard to learn, but it's figuring out what you want to play and what your sound should be. That's I think everyone should just make sure that they figure out what they really want to give out and play and make, and then once that is, just work at it. Even if you've got another job, listen to tutorials while you're on your breaks, listen to them on the way to work and stuff like that, and just start practicing and get to that point. And if you're already at it, just start going to the events that you want to be playing at. If you can meet, at the end of the day, meeting the right people is what really gives you a shortcut in our business. So if you can meet the right people and you have the skills to back it up, you can really just skip a bunch of years, that you otherwise might not. So yeah, get amongst it.
Good advice. I like that. At Moonlanding, one of our big things, like one of our values, is just being grateful for things in life. So I ask this in every single interview. What are some things you're grateful for, both in music and outside of music?
I'm grateful for what I've done. I think it's a great question. I think sometimes I forget to be grateful. You know, you're always looking at what you haven't done or what you want to do, and you know, sometimes when I do interviews like this and whatnot, and I talk about some things I've done, I'm like, shit. You know, I should be grateful for even having this experience so far, and even getting to where I am. You know, I'm very grateful for that. And you know, other than that, I'm just grateful to be healthy. I'm grateful to you know, have a roof over my head, and yeah, being able to wake up with a smile and do what I want to do. Really grateful for the people I have in my life around me, and yeah, grateful for what's ahead.
Oh yeah, man. What are you most proud of?
Man, I'm most proud of myself, man, for just for just getting to this point. You know, I've had some you know, tough things, you know, to deal with in life and different things like that. And you know, I'm just proud of getting here and being able to stay in it. I think that's the hardest thing is not quitting. So I'm proud that I'm still here doing what I'm doing.
I like that answer. That's a good one. Anything else you want to talk about or shout out or promote before we wrap things up here?
Well, I've got you know, I've got 2 remixes coming out this month. So on my triple record deal with Sony, with Warner Music, I've got a I Love Myself, which came out about 2 months ago. I've got another remix coming out this week by Ryan Ryback, which is a huge remix. And my boy Tazzy, he just did like a harder remix of it, which is amazing. So yeah, I'm really excited to share that with everyone, and I think they're going to do really well. And on the back of that, I've just signed my second song with Warner in Central Europe, as it's a huge track with my guy Tyler Bellinger. He's an amazing vocalist, and probably my most excited. You know, I've been for a track in ages. You know, it's going to be incredible. So I'm really excited for that, and yeah, and I'm looking to make the move full time to go USA in the next couple months. So I'll be moving to Vegas and seeing what the States have to offer, and you know, following through and you know, playing at EDC and just doing it over there. There's just so much more over there than there is here in Australia. So I'm looking forward to touring the US and just doing it.
Oh yeah, dude, got exciting stuff coming up. Well, so you make that move out to the US. I think that's going to help you take off quite a bit. As you said, a lot in the US, a lot of opportunities. So you know, hopefully that transition over to Vegas sees a lot of growth for you in the next year or so here.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah, dude. Well, man, I appreciate you taking the time with us. For those of y'all still watching, thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Launchpad. My name's Garrix, and this was 15 grams.